Welcome back to Sonic Colors. Last time I finished off Sweet Sweet Mountain, and previously, before that, wow, going back even further, I unlocked 2 more Wisps. So now we have 3 Wisps that we can go and use, and if I wanted to go back to Tropical Resort again, I could, and I could get S ranks. If I wanted to, that is. But that's not what I want to do. Now I want to go to World 3 and see what that has to offer. Starlight Carnival. As you can see, I'm going to be unlocking a new Wisp in this level as well. Let's get it out of the way right now. This level is fantastic, and I love everything about it. Oh my god. I'm gonna fanboy during this entire world, because honestly, it's just so great. Things like this, where you get thrown into the space. Into the space, wow. When you get thrown into space, you have to homing attack onto stuff, and then you have to land on the rainbow roads. It's just fun. It's just all around fun. The aesthetics match the fun pace of this world, and then you get inside and it gets a little bit more boring, which is fine. But anyway, this is Cube. You shake the Wiimote, and these blocks I've seen before in Sweet Sweet Mountain, they actually change up. Right here, these used to be rings. I could collect them, they wouldn't do anything for me, but I could collect them. Now if I use Cube, that is, oh my god, I was at a loss for words there for a second. If I use Cube, I can actually go and change those rings into blocks, which is pretty neat. Something really fun about this world too is there's a lot more skydiving, and I don't know, this world itself is just so neat, and it's my idea of what an adventure in space should be like, because honestly, aesthetically, this game doesn't do a lot with the whole space concept other than traveling from planetoid to planetoid that's been captured by Eggman, which allows for a lot of really cool, neat, different aesthetics to be used without people thinking, wait, why is this on this planet? Or, you know, a lot of other things people think about when, I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, this level doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, why does it matter? It's fun, that's all that matters. But a lot of people do worry about aesthetics, and the nice thing about a space aesthetic is the fact that you can change aesthetics. Count how many times that was actually 3 times. That wasn't that many times I said aesthetic. It doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. These are motobugs. I've already talked about them previously. Essentially, you are in a sidestepping section, and you just run into the motobugs. If you run into them on the side... Okay, essentially, let me try to say this a little bit better. If they run into your back, you get hurt. If they run into your front, you get hurt. So essentially what you have to do is slam into their sides. It's really not that hard to avoid as long as you keep sidestepping back and forth. So you don't have to worry too much about that. I find it sometimes odd, Sonic's movement on the movie, like, oh god, what am I trying to say? The rainbow platform type things. Sometimes there are random curves, and Sonic's movement can get kind of odd whilst on those. Like, he can slow down a bit, and it can be kind of annoying. But honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. As you saw previously, I was trying to go a bit faster. I boosted on one of those Rainbow Road type sections, and it just didn't work out all that well. But that's fine. Right here, usually that would be kind of a time waster segment. You'd land on that first one, it'd shoot you to this one, to the farthest right, then it'd shoot you to the middle, and then you'd come across this area. But I was like, no, I know how to play game. So I decided, forget that, I'll just hop right into the middle. It's stuff like that that's kind of nice. You can go the intended path, or you can just kind of hop around without having to actually glitch through anything. I don't know. The reason Sonic speedruns don't really impress me all that much, or I shouldn't say impress me, they definitely impress me, but the reason they don't interest me that much is because they're so glitch heavy. And I don't know, there's just something... I mean, glitches are nice and all, but there's something exhilarating about, like, watching someone play the game the way it was intended and still beating it in record time. And I think Sonic is a perfect candidate for that, and I just like Sonic speedruns that don't use glitches, but obviously, the only category that does that is glitchless, and a lot of people don't really run glitchless, or at least that's my experience with it. I haven't seen a lot of people run glitchless Sonic games, but that's just me. Games like, I was actually, fun fact, I was watching a speedrun of Sonic Forces before this, and that game can be just snapped in half really easily, and it's really fun to watch, but whatever. That was Act 1, really fun, really aesthetically pleasing. I don't know. I really like these just really light and colorful areas that, you know, neon kind of colors. I like those. The sad thing is, a lot of, like in Sonic games, a lot of the neon colors are kind of relegated to very specific types of levels. For example, there's Carnival Night in Sonic 3, there's Casino Night in Sonic 2. What do those all have in common? They have a lot of freaking bumpers, and something I don't like is not being able to be in control of my character, which is why I'm not a massive fan of levels like Casino Night, even though, yeah, they're pretty memorable. They're just not that fun for me. That's just how I feel about it. Because, you know, again, I like to be in control of my character in a platforming. Obviously, in a platformer, sorry. Obviously, it's a gimmick that can be used, and it's not a bad thing. I just personally don't like it. It does challenge your, like, you know, your control. It's like, oh, do you know how to control your character well enough to also get past all these bumpers, you know, stuff like that, and that's fine. But, like, I don't know. I'm just not a massive fan of it. I like being in control of my character completely, and maybe it's just because I'm bad at games. I don't know. That could be it. So there are sections kind of like that. Okay, that's fine. There are sections kind of like that that are just a little bit weak. You have to just pretty much shake your Wiimotes and, I don't know, just shake until you get to the very bottom. That's kind of boring. This level itself was kind of not that... I'm not going to say it wasn't that fun. It was perfectly fine, and I enjoyed playing it, but it wasn't very well designed. There were a lot of boxes that just blocked your path, and you had to go through them in like a maze-type way and destroy enemies along the way. And that's fine, but that was kind of a level that a lot of people don't like. Because, oh man, you know, there's nothing new, it's not that interesting, and that's fine. But now we're getting to another level that's new and interesting. Now we are actually on the outside of the ships that we've been going on. This is actually a new mechanic. Essentially, this is a spring you have to stay on if you want to beat the level. You really just bounce on it, you stomp to go much higher, and it essentially follows you. It's really not this supplement for side-scrolling like a lot of gimmicks are. It really does work very, very well, because unless it's moving up, unless the spring that moves with you is moving up, again, it moves with you. You don't really have to worry about being forced to go a certain speed, because the spring will actually conform to your speed. It will go as fast as you want to go. That being said, it will not go as slow as you want to go, because it will continue to move. You can't move backwards and it will move backwards. It only moves forward. But if you want to go this fast, you can go this fast. If you want to hold right the entire time, you can hold right the entire time. It's pretty neat. I actually do think this is a very fun concept, and it's a very good... I almost died there. It's a very good supplement for a side-scroller type. It's for the side-scrollers, because honestly, I don't like side-scrollers in platformers very much. I'm sure there are a few people out there that do, but they're just not my cup of tea. And that's just the way it's gonna be. Something you might notice that I just did is if you press the boost button in midair, it shoots you forward. And that's all fine and good, but you won't be able to stay with the spring if you do that. If you hold right, the spring will catch up with you perfectly fine and you'll stay right on top of it. But if you do press the B button in midair, you will go so fast that the spring won't be able to catch up and you'll fall to your death. Be careful, because you can die pretty easily like I just did right there. That was a pretty dumb mistake of mine, but I just wasn't gonna make it. So I was like, oh, maybe I can boost in air to fix that. You don't want to hold right or left completely, like all the time, because if you do, then it's very, very easy for you to kind of get messed up when you actually start going straight upwards. Like right there, I started going straight upwards, and if I kept holding left, then guess what would have happened? I would have died, like I just did right there. I'll be right back once I get back to that section, because that was kind of a dumb death, but whatever. I can't believe I was praising this level so much, and then I just died on it like a million times. I don't go back to play this game all that much, because when I do, I usually go back to play through all of it. Like, I don't just go back to play a few levels. It's not like that type of game. It's a game that I feel is good enough that I can just go back and play through it entirely. So whenever I do actually come back to this game, it's a complete playthrough. It's not like Sonic Forces, where I just go back to it every once in a while to play through one of the fun levels, and then I leave for like another month, and then I come back on occasion. I know I keep talking about Sonic Forces, and when I do actually run out of stuff to talk about, I swear I will talk about the controversy with this and Sonic Forces. I'm not gonna forget about it, I swear. So that was Act 3. Let's hop into Act 4, and then I'll end off the episode there, because I don't want to... My problem with Sweet Mountain is a lot of the levels weren't very long, so I was getting through them pretty easily and pretty quickly, and I just kind of... I don't know, I got into the flow, I guess. And I just kind of wasted a lot of time there in the first episode. I didn't waste a lot of time. I spent almost no time on the levels, and what happened was I just didn't have enough time in the last part. These are new gimmicks. Essentially, they are laser balls that look very, very 80s-like, and they shoot lasers, or laser balls, I guess I should say, in every which way. What you want to do is you want to wait for them to stop shooting their laser balls, and you can do that by like hiding in an area where like there's an opening and you won't get hit by laser balls at all, or you could do it by hiding behind a platform or something like that. That's the way they made you do it in the beginning of the level when they actually showed off that new mechanic. So you can do it in a few ways. Honestly, they're not terrible. I just messed up there because I was being a big idiot. I thought I could boost through them, but they are solid objects, so you can't do that. But that was a short level, and sadly this was a short video. Nothing much going on here. While Starlight Carnival, I almost said Stardust Speedway. That's no. While Starlight Carnival is a very fun level, it's kind of short. But honestly, I think that's something that's nice about this game. It's really short, and if you loved it, you can go back and play through it easily. I don't know. That's just something that I think's nice. I don't really want to go back to a game and spend another like 50 hours on it or something like that. I think it's kind of nice that it's a very short and still a very fun game at the same time. Anyway, that's that. That is the last level I'll be playing in this episode. My god, that was hard to get out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I didn't do too hot in these levels. Oh my god. I got a C on a lot of the levels. Anyway, that'll be it. Next time I'll move on and unlock a new Wisp, as well as get to the boss of this area and probably play through a few Gameland episodes. This is probably the last episode I'm going to record in this session because I am slurring my words like no one else. Anyway, that's that. Until next time.